Keone Pearson is your 2024 212 Division Olympia champion. Where would he place if he competed in the Men's Open? That is a question that you guys have asked me to at least try to answer. It's a You Pick Tuesday video request. Get it up to 500 likes. I will do the remaining requests. But before I begin, I would like to talk to you for just a minute. Is that all right? Done a couple of videos of this nature. Chris Bumstead, where would he have placed in the Olympia Men's Open? Beirut's Tabani did the same thing. This video I'm going to do a little bit different. Now, to respect Keone, of course, he's going to get a comparison with the top three. And of course, he is not going to get into the first call-out, in my estimation. Even though, in the first two shots, he's definitely doing good. He's definitely not losing. I mean, that front double, he looked outstanding, maybe the best. The front lat spread as well. I mean, the guy has condition, shape of the midsection, unmatchable. But then, of course, you'd go through the shots and he would have weaknesses. And let's face it, when it comes to the Olympia, I don't care who you are or what you look like. Unless you were maybe Andrew Jack or Hunter Labrada or somebody with a big name, like a history, placing into that top situation, you're not going to get in here. Now, Keone Pearson being the 212 Division champion, that would be interesting. That would be interesting indeed. But still, I don't think he would have cracked this situation. Now, of course, the back development. Is that going to be a weak point for him? Well, I thought so initially. But look at the lower half. Keone Pearson holding his own against the best of the very best. And when you look at the backs themselves, you can definitely tell that he is in between the best of the very best. Oh, poor Keone. This is Hadi, Shupin, and Derek, the two of the thickest. Here's the rear double by. Two of the biggest, thickest backs that you're going to see. And you can definitely tell back for back. He's going to be a little bit out of his element here. For sure. No doubt about it. Well, the abs and thigh, he looks pretty good. Conditioning from the front. I'd even give him second prize here. Of course, it's not a double arm overhead, is it? No, it's not. So he might get deducted of that. He pulls a pretty good vacuum. But having said that, lads and lattices, Keone Pearson, he got his time to shine. With as did Chris Bumstead, things of that nature, Beirut. And much like both of those guys, Keone was hanging with these three studs in a couple of shots. So he can hold his head up high for sure. He's definitely not going to get into the top three. Where will he place? I'll tell you in a minute. But before I do, I have to get this out of the way. For Keone Pearson's sake. This is not what he would look like if he competed in the Open. You guys asked me to tell you where I thought this 212 version would place in the Men's Open. So don't worry, Keone. I know you wouldn't look like this. If he's going to go into the Open, trust me, it's going to be a transformation that you wouldn't believe. Now, where would he place? He would be in this lineup, right? Probably. But we're not going to do this video like we did the Bumstead and the Beirut Tabani. We're going to more pinpoint this one. Now, I'll get this out of the way. He's not beating Andrew Jack. Even though he is holding his own the front double, I can tell you that. Against anybody in the IFBB. Second of all, he's not beating Martin Fitzwater if he's not beating Andrew Jack. You can bet that for sure. And as far as Hunter Labrada is concerned, well, I don't think he's beating him either. I really don't, guys. Hunter Labrada is just too much thick, raw meat. So in my estimation, in my opinion, it would be William Bonac, good old Bill Bonac, who got 7th. Definitely a respectable placing. And Rafael Brandao, who got a somewhat of a disappointing 8th place. So would Keone Pearson bump one of these guys out of the way? Would he get 7th? 7th is not bad at the Olympia. And he is doing enough, I think, to win this front double. Take a look at the condition of William Bonac. Look at every little detailed muscle just pops with hard, grainy nature. Lag for lag, too. Look at the size of the calves, for goodness sakes. The illusion of Keone Pearson does not weigh that much, but look at that midsection. He's saving a lot of weight right there. It's going to be a 1.5 pound midsection. Geez Louise, that is impressive. Now, Brandau, he looks good too. The prejudging in particular, he looks darn good. So if it is a victory for Keone, it's not that dominant, to be honest. Now, here's the front lat spread. Also, silhouette-wise, things of that nature, Keone he's rockin', rollin', strutting, strolling. Pretty hard to beat Brandau in this. Very aesthetically pleasing. Now, you can beat Bonac, I think. Keone. But again, that hard detail of Bill Bonac. Wow. Side chest as well. Look at this. From far back, yeah. Billy Boy, probably not. I hate to call him Bill if he doesn't like that. We'll just stick with William Bonac. Don't need him grabbing a hold of me like he did to Louis Marco, for goodness sake. Yeah, look at the detail. Hard graininess. Wow. Side tricep as well. Yeah, see? Give this one to Rafael Brandau. So that's the thing, guys. Keone Pearson. And like I mentioned, it's going to be frustrating for Keone to watch a video like this. It's going to be frustrating. This is not what he would look like. Now, from what I understand, Keone Pearson himself, from time to time, indulges in a Mark's Max Muscle video. So if you are listening, Keone, to apologize for this foolishness, I wrote you a little song. And it goes a little something like this. Keone, yes, your family, yeah, how, flexing your muscles to see, Keone, P song. Here's the back. What did you? Just made that up as I went. I bet you believe me too, don't you? Of course you do. It's impossible anybody would have wrote that down and sung it. But anyway. Yes, back development. Not the back itself, but I believe condition-wise, they might have slipped Keone Pearson ahead of Rafael Brandau, and I do not want to ruffle any feathers of the Brazilian fans. You guys are very passionate, I understand that, but clearly you can see he didn't get a very good placing at the Olympia, guys. So it was because he was a little soggy in the old bum. Here's the rack bubble. The back double. No, it would still be back double. No, Dak bubble. The Dak bubble. That's interesting. That's interesting indeed. Yeah, the back of Brandau, not that bad. It's, again, little bit soft in the old bay donk. Little soft in the tush. Bum. That was a good song, too. Better write these down. Here's the abs and thigh. Interestingly enough, probably going to go with Brandau in this because he is hitting it to speculations. He's hitting it proper. As Louis Marco used to say all the time. Oh, man, Louis loved that word, proper. Proper. And that's it, guys. And you know what? I love Keone Pearson. He's great. And using this 212 division version, he trained all year. So he'd be 212. And I understand he still has some weight to gain to get to 212, of course. But it's all about the training. If he's training for open, won't be for a few years. He's going to build and refine his muscles. And what we do see on the men's open stage, I do believe it's close enough here that it probably would defeat these two guys. Now, as is, I don't know. Condition-wise, you might give him 8th. I don't know if they wouldn't give him 7th. I don't think I don't think he'd beat Bonac, is what I'm still trying to sing. But he could beat Brandau, but I doubt it. But he might. But on further inspection, he probably wouldn't. You never know. More than likely, lads and laddises, he'd be looking across the stage from Brandon Curry. They'd be battling it out for that 9th place position. And of course, this is just fantasy, because Brandon Curry would never place 10th. He can't place 10th. He won the Olympia title. And if you've never realized, any bodybuilder that won the Olympia title never, ever placed 10th at the Olympia, before or after they won their Olympia title. And that's weird. A lot of them placed 9th, 11th, bunch of them. Never 10th. Interesting. Here's the next shot, the front lat spread, and I gotta say, Curry, his legs actually look pretty good. To be honest with you, Curry's wheels, they were not even really down in size. It's just that fresh upper body, that booming muscle, Keone Pearson, not only in this front lat spread, but even on Brandon Curry's best shot there, that front double. Used to be his best shot. He's losing from the front, guys. Turn to the side. Now, I would suggest that the substantial thickness of that upper body, I mean, that is very substantial, is it not? Of Brandon Curry, I think that would get him an edge against Keone Pearson. Keone looks good, man. Look at those delts. And look at the lower half. Sharp. And I mean sharp. Here's the side tricep. And again, that thick substantialness of Brandon Curry. And I can hear you guys now. I could just imagine you guys having a field day in that comment section below. The peanut gallery. I'm just joking. Hey, I was the captain of many peanut galleries. For sure. But Mark's Max Muscle, you missized this one again. First of all, Brandon used to be listed at 5'8", then I've seen 5'7". He's getting a little older, getting a little long in the tooth. There's no way that I'm as tall as I used to be. I'm already getting shorter. I don't want anybody to measure me anymore. Yeah. These guys would be closer in height than you think, is what I'm saying. Here's the back shots, guys, and it would come down to this. If, in fact, Keone Pearson didn't beat Rafael Brandao, which he might. Well, the more I think about it, he could. He might not, though. He might not. Condition-wise, in particular, in that lower half, Brandon Curry was never known for that. He didn't have that thin skin and glaciers. And here at the 2024 Olympia, he definitely didn't bring his best condition. Nor the widest back. Definitely a little narrow. And when you look at Keone, I mean, this guy is on. This guy is a zon. Here's the... I'll delete that. Hazan. The rear double by, same thing. I mean, yeah. Brandon Curry has his moments, big traps, things of that nature. But look at the quality. Muscle attachments, glutes, hamstrings. Whoa, look at the hamstring difference. Come on, guys, gals. And in the abs and thigh, I mean, it is what it is. So there's no way, shape, or form Brandon Curry is placing ahead of Keone Pearson. If, in fact, Keone decided to just jump into the open, he could have. He's the champion, for goodness sakes, 212. But like I've been saying, guys, over and over again, it wouldn't be this version. It would be much more jacked. He'd probably be in better condition. Well, you can't say in the conditioning. He's in pretty good condition. Condition-wise, he's beaten Brandao. So where would he place at the Olympia? He could place 8th. Could place 8th or 9th, I would suggest, is where he would get. And that's using the 212 version. Hit thumbs up on the video, lads, laddises, everybody in between. Let me know. Where do you think? Am I totally off on this one? Would he beat Martin? Starvin' Martin? I bet he is starving on the diets. You guys ever think about that? The pro bodybuilders are the hungriest rich people that you'll ever see. There's no other people of their wealth that are that hungry. Nobody has the discipline. Where's your discipline? Slap that cake out of your hand. Oh my goodness. Is that a little Debbie? Mmm, little Debbie.